Welcome students. Let's start with the chapter, the cell. So the very first question, what is a cell? Cells are like the bricks of a building. Suppose you want to make a building, you don't need just one brick. You'll take one brick and then another and hundreds of bricks to form one building. Same way, each and every living body is made up of cells and it starts with a single cell and then keep on multiplying. So you underline this line that cells are the smallest part of an organism. And all the basic functions of life, like you have growth, metabolism, and reproduction, takes place in a cell. So, like growth is one cell will multiply into two, and then two will multiply into four, like this it goes on. And metabolism means all the life processes which takes place in a living body can also take place in a single cell. Cells divide to form two cells and then further. This is multiplication of the cell is known as reproduction. Now underline the definition that the cells are the basic unit of structure and function in all living beings. Now they are so tiny, that means they are so small that you cannot see them with the naked eyes. So discovery of the cell is linked with the invention of microscope. Now microscope is an instrument with what we can see the cell which we cannot see with the naked eyes. Now who discovered cell? Robert Hooke, underlined this, when he observed a thin slice of cork under his microscope. Now you must be very clear, we have bottles with a cork, so they are talking about that corks. You take a slice of it, you can't put the whole cork on under the microscope, you have to take a slice. He noticed that the cork had large number of small boxes joined together. So you can see this diagram under the microscope, he saw like this. So this is one cell of a cork, so many cells of a cork. So he noticed that the cork had large number of small boxes joined together to form a honeycomb-like structure. Hooke called these little boxes as cellular, that means cell. And these were actually empty spaces surrounded by cellulose walls. So this is the structure of Robert Hooke's microscope and the cork what he observed under his microscope. And on this page, Englishman Robert Hooke is known for Hooke's law of elasticity. This is one law in physics. Construction of a compound microscope, observation of cork under the microscope, coining the term cell. Coining means giving the name to these structures as cell to describe the basic unit of life. So he is therefore known as Jack of all trades. Now what is the cell theory? The concept that all living organisms are made up of cells was explained as cell theory. And who explained it? You can underline this. That the concept that all living organisms are made up of cells is termed as cell theory. And there were two scientists, Sheldon and Schwann. And what are the points that you can mark these 2 points? Cells are structural and functional unit of all living organism. That means that whole living organism will be made up of same type of cells which are similar in their structure and in their function. New cell arise by the division of pre-existing cells. One cell will divide into two and the two cells will divide into four, 4 into 8, this goes on. So cells, their number, shape and size. The number of cells. On the basis of number of cells, organisms are divided into two. So underline unicellular and multicellular. So what is unicellular organism? Unicellular organism, underline this, are single-celled organism. They are just formed of one single cell and all the functions are taking part in that one particular cell. So these are the examples. We have bacteria, chlamydomonas, yeast, amoeba and paramecium. And you can see them here. See, amoeba, euglena, paramecium and chlamydomonas. So these are the diagrams you can see here. And then further we continue. What are multicellular organisms? All plants and animals which we see around us are made of millions and billions of cells. So they are known as multicellular organism. For example, these are the examples: people, neem, rose, earthworm, fish, frog, human. We ourselves are multicellular organism. Our life began with a single cell, and you can see now we have a huge body with so many cells performing so many functions. In multicellular organism, different functions are carried out by different cells. So when we talk about it is dedicated to one function become specialized to perform that functions more effectively. So when a group of cells dedicated to perform a specific function is called as a tissue. So several tissues form organ and different organs form different functions. So several organs when they join together they form an organ system. Now let's talk about one system like digestive system. So digestive system starts from the mouth and goes till the anus. So it has stomach, intestine, liver, all these are the parts of the digestive system. Same we talk about circulatory. Then circulatory will have all the blood vessels and the heart. It forms a complete circulatory system. So lastly, many organ systems join together to form a complete organism. If we talk about plant is made up one plant is a complete organism made up of root, stem and leaves. And if we talk about human being is made up of so many organ systems inside to form a complete organism. So this flowchart you understand. Cells together are going to form tissues. Tissues are similarly related cells. Okay, group of similarly related cells. There can be many tissues, but their cells functionality and structure can be different. So group of similar cells form tissues. Tissues collectively will form organs, and many organs collectively will form organ system, and all the organ systems together is going to form organism. Okay, so the next part is cell shapes. Cells show a great variation in their shapes, and different shapes of cells are related to their functions. They can be round, they can be spherical, oval, elongated, tubular, cylindrical, and discoidal or irregular in shape. So many shapes are there. This we are going to study in our next part. For now, please understand till here. Thank you.